Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Zach Ives. I'm chair of the Computer and Information Science Department, and on behalf of all my colleagues, welcome to the CIS Overview Hour. Over the next few minutes, we'll try to give first an overview of computer and information science here at Penn, and then give you a flavor for all the different activities going on in the different research groups. I actually will wear two hats over the next few minutes. First, I'll give the overall overview, and then I'll be the representative for work going on in data science and databases. So let me start with actually what I think distinguishes Penn from many of our peers and perhaps some of the other departments that you may be looking at. I think one of the really intrinsic qualities to Penn Computer Science is that we have a philosophy that everything centers around the PhD students. We have great researchers, world-class research, lots of impact, but our focus is very much on the relationship with you as our students. Our belief is that if we can work with you, mentor you to be the best possible researcher and presenter of your work and collaborator, then very naturally everything else will come into play and you'll have high impact, terrific work. We also believe that your work here at Penn is really only the first piece of what you're going to be doing through your career. And so our philosophy is very much oriented toward trying to have the greatest impact on really helping you launch your career where you want it to go. While we're doing that, of course, we do end up publishing all sorts of really high impact work. And I'm highlighting here a few of the recent award-winning papers and dissertations that our students have had. So really, the focus on the students translates directly into the focus on high impact work as well. Our students, after they graduate from Penn, go to basically all of the top places that you can imagine. Some of our students are interested in joining research universities, and we have placements at essentially all of the top places there. Likewise, some of our students are really passionate about teaching the next generation of computer scientists at teaching schools, and we have a variety of alumni at great teaching universities. We have students who decide that the best environment is industrial research labs, where you can be doing research and also impacting product. Here we have, again, alumni at all of the top places. And finally, industry and startups, a segment of our students go to those as well. We're proud of all of the different placements and the different ways of having impact. And we have a great alumni base that's across all of the places that you can think of. Now, what is it that makes the Penn experience unique? Well, I think, first of all, we have a department that's kind of mid-sized. If you're too small of a department, then generally a small department doesn't have the ability to have lots of folks in each area. If you get too big, there starts to be an environment where different groups become siloed and it's really hard to know everyone. What really, I think, is nice about Penn is we have about 39 tenure track faculty and another 6 research faculty. This is a size where we can cover all the major areas of work. We can still have a close-knit community. Our 160 PhD students know all the faculty, and there's all sorts of engagement between student and faculty, lots of interaction, lots of situations where we have co-advisors across different research groups, and a huge emphasis on one-on-one mentoring. So I think this really makes for a great experience as a student. Second big thing about Penn is we have a really long history of innovation. You could argue the longest of any CS department. Unfortunately, you're not able to see it in person, but the ENIAC, the first digital computer, sits in our building. It was built in 1946, and we've been a leader in CS ever since. We were one of the first CS departments, actually the first 2 PhDs in computer science graduated from Penn. We've also had all sorts of firsts in stretching the boundaries of what it means to do computer science as it intersects with AI and cognition, as it intersects with economics and networks, and a variety of other interdisciplinary areas. And I think as we see computer science have more and more impact on the world, these are the areas that are going to be increasingly high impact on society. The third big aspect of our department is we have fantastic faculty. There are 7 winners of Test of Time awards. We have 12 fellows of all of the honor societies for faculty. winners of the John McCarthy AI Award, the Robin Milner Young Investigator Award in Programming Languages, and in fact, a bunch of the university level teaching awards. So again, you'll be meeting, interacting with, and working with great faculty who in turn invest a lot. And many of our alumni have gone on to themselves become ACM fellows. Okay, that's kind of an overview of our department and its character. I want to just spend a couple minutes to give a little bit of an overview of the research, and then we will dive into more specific areas as we go. I like to characterize the department's research strengths not necessarily in terms of the traditional sort of smaller subdisciplines and subgroups, but rather as a series of sort of cross-cutting themes, which in fact are often interlinking as well as cross-cutting. So the first of these is really the problems related to taking raw data from the world and turning it into understandable, informed decisions and actions. There's a big machine learning and computer vision piece to that, but this also really involves a lot of collaborative work with folks in theory and algorithms and databases, trust, all sorts of other aspects, distributed computing that are really necessary to solve these problems in a much more cross-cutting, integrative way. The second major theme is reliable, secure, and trustworthy systems and services. Again, there's an arc from kind of the theoretical foundations and things like cryptography to programming languages for expressing the computations better, to formal methods, distributed systems, computer architecture, and the like. And then finally, I think as the world has come to realize, all of the things that we are building and developing are affecting the very fabric of our society, and really working on understanding, acknowledging, and developing towards algorithms and systems that promote our societal values is extraordinarily important. There is a huge amount of work going on in the department, really focused on ethical algorithms and societal impact and the bigger picture that revolves around the computational techniques. So that's kind of a high-level overview. One can also look at the individual, more traditional research disciplines. This just gives a little bit of a snapshot of our groups and some of the folks in each of them. One of the things I want to highlight is if you look at all these people and then you see co-advising relationships and shared projects, you can draw edges between all of the groups, and essentially we get this incredibly dense graph of collaboration across essentially almost any pair of subdisciplines. And I think that's really one of the characteristics that separates us. You can also see in the little callouts, there are a variety of research centers and institutes designed to also help cultivate not only collaboration within CS, but also going outward to the overall university. Let me sum up by saying we're on an incredible trajectory toward a really bright future. We already have phenomenal faculty and students who are really eager to work with you. You're going to hear a bit more about specific projects in a little bit. We're in the middle of a really ambitious growth phase, hiring lots of new faculty, growing out our areas. And we have a new data science building in the works that should be opening in a couple of years. There's a little screenshot of one of the architect's renderings here. So we're incredibly excited to have all of you come and visit us. We hope that we'll be able to welcome you next year and to work with you to have impact in whatever it is that you're most aspiring to in your future career.